Hello and welcome to Somewhere in Waldo County. I'm with Kimberly Callas, and today Kimberly's taking me on a hike, well, at least on a trail. Kimberly, tell me a little bit about what this trail is all about.
Well, the Cultivate Farm and Arts Trail was created in partnership with the Belfast Creative Coalition and the Maine Farmland Trust, and it's a year-round trail that highlights artist studios, farms, and cultural organizations in the Belfast area.
All right, well, that's a very succinct elevator speech of what it is. To give me a little bit more of an idea about how this all happened. Now, you're the head honcho of Belfast Creative Coalition. I know you have many people that work with you, but when I think about it, I think of you. Tell me a little bit how this idea came about.
Well, we realized that throughout this whole area, there are so many creatives and creative people and organizations that if you were just visiting you might not know about. So we wanted to create what's called a cultural itinerary for this area, which lists all the different sites. And another inspiration for it was that there are so many people you run into and they say, oh, I'm a painter, or I make this. And then when you see what they make, you're like, wow, you really are a painter. And you see their studio and these homemade houses, and there's just something really unique and handmade that's here that we wanted to create more visibility for. So
if I were a creative person and I were in my little editing booth editing a film or something, I might like people to know that I can do that kind of work, but I might not always want people coming by when I'm like, you know, heavily engaged and trying to concentrate on something. How does this trail work?
Well, everyone has a listing in the directory, and then on that listing there are hours, and some people have listing hours that are by appointment only, and so the people would have to call you first and make an appointment to see you. But in that listing there's photos of your work, there's links to your website. It goes right into your website, into your Facebook. There's your phone number, of course, however you want to be contacted, and then there's a slideshow of all the images of your work.
So I understand the art thing. How about this farm thing, and how come are they like integrated together?
Well, when we started thinking about this and talking to different people, we realized that many of the artists were also farmers, and we wanted to highlight the many farmers that are here that make handmade products. So the artists were farmers, the farmers were artists, and so we decided both of those are the gems of Waldo County. We wanted to combine them together in this one Cultivate Farm and Arts Trail.
Now, I am making an assumption that you don't have to be an artist and farmer to participate. You can be like one or the other and both?
One or the other, and that was that's what I thought was so funny when I started reaching out to people. The artists would send me, they were confused and they thought you had to be both. And so many of them sent me pictures of their work along with these beautiful pictures of their gardens. And the farmers would start describing what kind of artwork they made. So there's such a crossover here, it's incredible. But no, you can be a farm or an artist, but it's really something that's unique to this area that many people are both.
So you have an event coming up. This is why we're doing this television program today. And from what I understand, there are specific times, kind of like Maple Syrup Day, you know, where you can go to all these different places, but that doesn't mean you can't visit them on other times by appointment. Is that correct?
Right. We have a tour coming up that highlights the trail over Columbus Day weekend, the Saturday and Sunday, the 12th and 13th, and it's from 10 to 4 p.m. And that's a special day because there will be artist studios that are open for that whole time, farms that are doing specific demonstrations, foraging and showing you how to make cheese, weavings. The artists will be doing demonstrations in their studios. So it's a very special tour in that way. It's also like I said, some of these places aren't open. They're open just by appointment, and on these 2 days they will be open.
Oh, that's great. So they are prepared for you. That's good. So different kinds of farms and different kinds of artists. Now, give me a sense of like the kinds of I imagine we're talking small farms here, not, you know, places with combines. They don't have too many of those around Waldo County anyway.
No, and many of the farms that we've highlighted create handmade products that are under $30. So that was one of the things to consider. Do they have products so they're not sort of commercial farming? These are people who have a product that you can come and pick up. Many of the places like the alpaca farms have weaving. We have 3 alpaca farms on the trail.
Wow.
And
I didn't know there were so many. Is there a water buffalo place on the trail?
not yet.
Oh, because I know there's one at the farmer's
Right,
market.
Right, but we have each of them have different products, and so it's there are just some unique places that you may not know exist in your neighborhood, which is kind of neat. Down if you go down past Belfast, just out of town, about 3 miles. There's a weaver there, and she grows all of her own colors. She makes the pigments out of plants that she grows on her land.
Wow, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, so that's Rose Whitehead Fabrications, and she's right down the road from Belfast. In Belfast alone, the studios that we're going to visit, many people may not know that there are several artist studios right in the Belfast city limits right here in downtown on Main Street, and many of them are upstairs, and so you might not visit them on a Friday night art walk, but we're really highlighting and trying to get people to go up those stairs and visit those hidden treasures that exist in the upper floors.
Yes, it's not by coincidence that we're standing right here with the post office behind us, right?
Yes, Dina Petrillo, she's actually, I call her our new creative economy business because she's an artist who's taken a process of her artwork and turned it into a marketable product, a commercialized product, and she makes lampshades out of these beautiful handmade prints.
Well, we're going to have to go see her in just a second, but a couple other little details. For one thing, I don't have a lot of money right now. Am I still welcome to go on the trail? And, should I feel guilty if I don't buy anything at a particular place?
No, this is really to highlight people who are in the area, give you a chance to see what's in the area and check it out. You don't have to purchase. It's just nice. We thought it would be nice if people did have things available. And also, I'd just like to tell you how you can find out more about it.
Oh, yeah,
about the
okay.
trail. And we have map brochures that are available at the Visitor Center in Belfast at 14 Main Street. That's the Chamber's Visitor Center at the bottom of downtown. And we're also having the map is also downloadable on our website, belfastartsandculture.org. And that has all the different listings, each have a site on that website. So you can really get in and map out your tour, what you want to do that day. There'll be a downloadable PDF of the map from the website and also a downloadable PDF of everyone who's participating specifically in the Columbus Day tour.
All right. Well, I will ask you this, or we'll reiterate this at the end of the program too, so you'll have an opportunity between the time that we are talking now and we look at all the different places. How many places are we going to visit today?
3.
All right. So we're going to start off by going right up into the second floor of the post office, and we'll see you up there. Hi, Dina.
Hi, Ned.
So we're in your sacred space here, your studio, and it's a very colorful and interesting space. What are you doing right now?
I'm inking a sunflower plate, and this will be for a lamp on Kozo. This will get run through my etching press. And the process that I'm doing right now is I paint the plate. It's called a la poupée. And that's when you spot ink with various colors a plate. So it becomes a hand-printed plate, and each of these are monoprints.
Oh, so there's a one next to it that looks almost the same, and then you put like 2 or 3 different colors. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, this is the other part of this plate. These go together and create one continuous image. And then this long print will wrap a lampshade to create.
Oh, wow. So this is what the final result is, huh?
Yeah.
So is that what you make, lampshades mostly, or do you do all sorts of things?
The lampshades, Belfast Shade Company, is what we're concentrating on, but it comes out of my sculpture and printmaking process. I'm still doing print work, like what we see behind us, the botanicals on figures for shows that I have down in Brunswick and opening in Belfast.
So are these like photographs and modified, and tell me about how you do these.
The figures that you see, these are photographs, and then they've been printed in pigment-based ink on an ultrachrome printer.
Is that something you can do right here? I see all these contraptions.
Well, actually, if we step over here, move these shades out of the way. Behind here is an Epson. It's an older ultrachrome printer, which is very stable ink, and it prints on various kinds of archival papers. It's given to me by Tom Prescott. Yeah, so I can do 24-inch wide. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Nice,
I know. Tom is terrific.
Well, as an aside here, I got to say, you have the most amazing view out this window here.
Yeah, isn't it terrific?
Wow, you can really keep an eye on the goings-on in downtown Belfast.
Yeah.
That'll be a neat thing for people who come and visit you to see.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing? And the view of the Gothic and yeah, it's really cool. I mean, and I've seen the town change in 8 years. It's been a remarkable change. I mean, we used to have, you know, half our storefronts at one point were closed down, and now we're fully alive.
Mm-hmm. So when you have your this open house, when people come to visit, will you be like giving little demos, or what were you thinking of doing?
Yeah, I think I'll probably do some, I'll do some printing. I'll do what you saw over here in terms of the inking.
Oh, yeah.
And
what are those things hanging up here on the clothes? It looks like a clothesline of sorts. It's very colorful. It looks like you've got some of those flags from
the Tibetan
Tibetan,
prayer flags. These are individually printed panels on kozo, or this is Tai Unru, and then these translucent papers are fused, well, traditionally with encaustic to sailcloth, and these were
encaustic. Hey, I just learned what that meant. That means something with mixing colors with wax, right?
Yeah. Actually, Kimberly's about to start working in encaustic.
Oh, okay.
It's a raw beeswax with damar resin, and then I mix pigments in with that, and I combine that with my etching process with my oil-based etching inks on the translucent papers, and then they create things like this, which originally were on expanded metal, and so that's with encaustic on sailcloth on expanded metal lath.
That's kind of scary looking.
Yeah, that one is a little creepy. This is what the wire armatures look like for.
For that you put the.
Yes.
Put the lampshades on.
Exactly.
Those are neat by themselves.
Aren't they kind of cool? These will actually get covered with sailcloth and prints, and then these are for outdoor. These are going to be hung off the balcony for the November art opening.
Oh, great.
For the art walk, so that the whole balcony is illuminated with different shapes.
So do you have people come up and see you? I mean, you're kind of like
Not really.
hidden, I was going to say.
No, we're actually probably the least visited spot in Belfast.
Now, it is a cool space. I mean, look at that door. It's a Gothic door, isn't it? So speaking, as we go out the door, we're going to go into, do you have like a showroom or something?
Yeah.
Let's go.
This is Carol, and she works here in this space. She's an architect and designer.
That's neat. So you share a space with other creative people.
Yeah.
That's neat.
For a number of years. Thank you. It's a little bit messy right now. Excuse me. We're still sort of underway. But this is our showroom for Belfast Shade Company. And what you're looking at now is the pendant display. And this is a display that moved from New York City to back to Maine for our first show in New York at the Javits Center.
Neat.
And so these are some of our lamps that came back from New York, and we're now making a new. We're making linen shades, and these linen shades are variations on our fine art kozo shades. And one of the great things about this is we have tremendous versatility in terms of design and size and color motif for doing custom work. So
Wow, look at that. That's quite a catalog.
Yeah.
Hey, Dina, I got to say that we've got to go on and visit other people, but thanks so much for showing
Sure.
us around, and
Yeah.
I think this is really a wonderful place to come visit.
Thank you, Ned. Yeah, this is really fun.
All right, so next on our tour, we have gone to Front Street Pottery, and I'm visiting my first pottery instructor, Gail Savitz. Hi, Gail.
Hello, Ned. Welcome.
So Gail taught me pottery when I was a freshman at Colby College back in 1972.
Oh, God.
That was the year I was born.
Oh, my God.
Kimberly just said that's the year she
flies.
was born. So tell me a little bit about what you've been doing here lately at Front Street Pottery.
Well, let's see. I've just come down here and I make pottery. So today I hand build things. As you can see, that's what I'm doing with these funny animals I make. And then sometimes I make regular mugs.
These look like eggs over here. Are
These
these
look
gonna
like
be
eggs, but they're not. They're going to be, I was over at Colby College at that wonderful new museum they have.
That's fantastic,
And there's
isn't
a
it?
Chinese collection, and in the Chinese collection is this wonderful goose, probably 1,000 years old. And I just loved it, and I thought that would look great on a table with candles in it. That's how I sort of think. And so I came back and I started making these geese. And
Wow.
so this is the first form they take, and then I have to keep adding stuff to them. It's really takes a lot more time than I think is probably worth it. But it's fun and it's interesting, but I'm having trouble getting the legs to stay on. They stay on okay with these. They're all right, they're balanced. Now I'm trying to balance these fellows on sort of short sort of legs, and it is not easy. So I'm wondering if maybe I should just have them sitting down on the table.
So there's always a
So-
sort of a sense of experimentation as you go into you have something in your brain, like what you want to do, and then how
Yes.
to make it actually work.
Yes.
And isn't it interesting that they start as eggs? Like
They
geese
start as
do.
a shape. They started, I'm sorry, that's
These
my
egg,
phone.
these egg shapes.
They start as any kind of shape at all. I made some shapes out of plaster.
Hey,
as
look
you
at
can
this.
see down here. Oh, there's a turtle over
yeah.
there. This was going to be a lamb, but I don't think it quite looks like a lamb. It sort of looks like a lamb. I'm not sure what it turned out to be, but anyway.
It looks like a lamb from some Morris Sendak story.
Something else. So anyway, I do a lot of press mold things, and then I put things together, and then I sort of keep adding until I get some sort of creature that is, looks like he wants to take, become something. So anyway, so that's what this one was.
And
You
Gail, what
just-
is the press mold method?
That's, sorry. This is one of my egg shapes. I made this out of plaster.
Uh-huh.
I built a big form out of clay, and then I cast it in plaster. I have several of these different shapes. And then I put a piece of clay down, and it makes a half of a shape, and then I add another one to it, and I can show you the eggs. This is the shape I made that ended up being this funny, that funny creature. And I have different ones around here, but it's really fun because it gives you a shape, and then you can do almost anything with the shape. So that's what these are. These are going to become, I think they are geese, and thus I get just tired of trying to figure out how I'm going to make them stand up, because I'm trying a different system now, and I think this is probably a better system.
So Gail,
Anyway.
you do have a potter's wheel. Do you still do stuff on a wheel?
Oh, I do a lot of things on the wheel. This is my wheel. I've had it since I graduated.
From Pomona College, right?
From the Claremont Graduate School in Claremont, California.
Claremont, okay.
And this is my beloved potter's wheel. And it works great. It's
So
quite
this stuff
old.
over here looks like stuff you did on that.
And this is stuff I did on the potter's wheel. These are little dishes I'm going to use at the restaurant for sugar at Darby's. These are some mugs.
Right, for all who may not know that the Gail Savitz is co-owner of Darby's, right?
Yeah. So we use some of my, and these are, anyway, so this is, and this is a strange thing I did. The other day I was making these, and I just decided I was not going to make a whole egg kind of shape or a whole rabbit. So anyway, I made This is kind of a strange bird sort of thing, carved sort of.
So we're seeing these in the, have they been bisked yet?
These have not been bisque. These
So
are
they're just
very
dry
raw.
clay, right?
They're very fragile right now.
And then you have do you have a kiln here somewhere?
I'll show you my kiln.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, I have everything I need right here. This is my kiln over here.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a pretty big kiln. This is big enough. Sometimes I worry that they're going to find me upside down in this thing. I tip over. It's as tall as I can manage. This is a
Gail,
little test kiln for
We ought to go out like so we can see what things
Okay.
look like when they're finished. Can I
All right.
back on out? I'm trying to like run camera and go backwards, so please forgive me if I'm not doing such a great job of that.
So this is my showroom. So this is perfect. So I made this little showroom. So I do all my work in the back, and then when I finish it, I bring it out here, and people can come in and see what I do. So those forms, you just saw that big plaster form. Actually, I made this, you see this owl lamp. This started from that form. I had two, it was like an egg shape, and then came together, and then I just made it into an owl.
Wow, that looks
I
great.
don't know if I have any other eggs around here. I thought I did.
That's all right. Looks like you've got some family portraits up
Oh,
here.
here's an egg. Here's another egg.
Oh, yeah.
So that's from that shape. Family portraits?
Well, over here.
Oh, yes.
Gail,
Yeah.
I've got to wander on to our next location so we can
Okay.
put everything in a half-hour program. I'd like to stay
Great.
longer. Thanks for letting us come and visit.
Thank you for coming. Thank you, Kimberly.
you.
It's been a pleasure.
So for our final stop on our program, we are at Good Karma Farm, and I'm visiting with Jim Grant. Jim, thanks for letting us come and visit with you.
Nice to have you.
So I'm catching you at some intricate-looking device. Can you tell me what you're up to?
This is a circular sock machine. It knits socks, and I can make a pair of socks like this one here in about 45 minutes.
Wow, that's pretty darn fast. That beats Grandma's knitting projects.
I get called a cheater a lot.
Can you show me how it works?
Well, it's a series of needles with latches, and it forms a stitch as you go around. And I can do the whole sock on here, hang a cuff, and do the body of the sock, and turn a heel, and make them to size, and then do a toe, and then all I have to do is the Kitchener stitch to close the toes up.
Wow, that's great. So tell me a little bit about Good Karma Farm, because from what I understand, besides just making socks, you actually, grow the fleece from your own crop, and you have like a little factory here.
Yeah, we raise alpacas. We raise Wakai alpacas. We have 30 of them on the farm right now. And we also started raising Icelandic sheep last summer. We have 18 of those right now. We raise them for their fiber, and the sheep are also for meat. And we have a spinning mill here that we turn all of their fiber into different types of yarn.
That's great. And now I've seen you, or your wife maybe, at the farmers market in Belfast. And you do a couple things there. You have a soap business too, right?
Yep. We do 2 farmers markets a week. We do the Belfast market on Friday and the Camden market on Saturday. Amy does the Friday market. I do the Saturday market. She's made Carabasset soap for the last 15 years. She started up in Kingfield, which is in the Carabasset Valley, so that's why it has that name.
Oh, okay. You're going to have to come up with the Belfast line, though, aren't you?
Well, we've had the name for a long time. This year was our 15th year at Common Ground Fair with the soap,
Oh, wow.
so it's well established.
So your factory here, or whatever, what is it called? A spinning
Mill.
Spinning mill. Do you only process your own fleece, or do you take in stuff from other farmers who don't have such a spinning mill?
Well, we primarily want to do our own, but we will take in some farms. We meet people along the way that we can't say no to them, and we'll take their stuff in. But overall, we're trying to just grow our own brand of yarn and sell our own.
Sure. So what made you get into this, I guess from feeding the animals to, taking it all the way to the sock? That's quite, I keep thinking soup to nuts, but that's not what
It is
the
soup to nuts.
expression
Yeah,
is.
we do it from start to finish. We used to have a screen printing and embroidery business, and we sold that about 8 years ago. And this is just a different type of manufacturing. We already had the animals. We liked it and thought there was a need for it, and thought we would be good at it.
So you're part of this this trail, the farm part of the trail. When people come to visit on that on the big open day, what will you be showing them? Your creatures as well as how you make your
Yep.
products?
We're not necessarily a petting zoo, so if the animals want to be pet, they'll come up. If they don't, we're not going to force them. So you might get lucky, you might not. We'll have something on each of the different machines so that you can see some of the process, and just a tour of kind of what we do around here.
Yeah, I seem to recall something about alpacas that if you get too close, they might spit at you. Is that a myth, or is there some truth to that?
Both. If you get spit at, you earned it. You did something to upset them that they're letting you know of their displeasure. They don't generally just spit at you just to spit at you. So a lot of times if they're at a farmer's market or something and they're in a confined pen, they get a little ugly and they will spit. They usually spit at each other more than anything, just as a way to communicate.
Okay. Well, I don't want that to deter people from coming because they're really
Our animals won't spit on you.
All right. Well, thank you very much. It's been fun getting a chance to talk to you.
Great. Thank you.
Well, that kind of wraps up our quick mini tour. We got to 3. How many are there totally on the trail?
Wow, on the trail there's over 80, but on the open for the studio tour and farm tour, there's probably 60 locations.
Oh my gosh. Well, so you just have to go through. So once again, why don't you review with us where they can get more information about this and review the date again?
The Farm and Art Studio Tour is October 12th and 13th. There's listings on the website at belfastartsandculture.org. There's also map brochures at the Visitor Center in Belfast at 14 Main Street. And also the, what was the other question?
That was it, pretty
Okay.
much. All right, so folks, thanks a lot for tuning in. We hope you get inspired to go visit some of the places along the Art and Farm Trail. Until next time, this is Ned Leitner for Somewhere in Waldo County.